Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. This is my food for thought, so you guys know my food for thought are always kind of rambly, they're not clear. So I'm gonna try to make this a bit clearer. You guys know I'm reviewing a bunch of shows. We're reviewing over 7 shows now, 8 shows. Yeah, 8. So I get a problem with remembering names. Like I'll remember name of, oops, sorry, of main character, but I won't remember name of people that don't matter. It's like, I'm sorry, I already forgot most of the name of Good Place. I'm sorry. Um, and then got me thinking, what is a trait that give me to remember names? I could write them down, right? That would be the smart way to do, but it doesn't do smart things. So I was thinking, and then it got me to another question, which is my ADHD brain. And the other question was super simple. It was, what makes a name name? How can you identify with a name? You like the guy? Do you guys like with this? It sounds different, or it just I don't know. I'm just trying out shit. Uh, yeah. So what's in the name? For example, um, how does a name relate to the person? Well, a name is an identity, right? But when you ask a question, who are you? They don't answer their name. Their name is a name giving. It's a nomenclature. Nomenclature. It's the way you name things. So, for example, this is a phone. This is a fork. This is garbage, but good chocolate. Right? And I was thinking, what's in the name? And then I got to a whole like sidetrack. It wasn't about the shows anymore. Oh, I spent about 12 seconds on a way to remember the people from the show. 12 seconds on a way to remember names. I spent at least 40 minutes on what's the name. So in those 40 minutes, I thought about a lot of things, right? But I thought about why we identify with names. So, for example, I think I think the question we have to ask is I even got a tattoo of that. I even got a tattoo. If you can read it here, it's a W, A I. Who am I? Because very, very often in my life, I ask myself who I was. And along the year, I got to learn myself. I got this when I was young. And along the learn. But here's my problem. What if the person I saw, what if the person I thought I was isn't real me? What if it was a perception of other people? It was reflected on my own perception. For example, people say, "Oh, well, this guy is super funny," so I identify as funny, right? And it's weird because when you think, "Who am I?" I think one of the best ways to do that is to just take a camera and record yourself. Because if you're, for example, I'm gonna have two people, Alfonso and Alphonsette, right? Hi, Alphonsette, you're single. Um, Cringe. Sorry about that. Um, and Alphonse is gonna be super relating to the funny part of me, and Alphonsette she's gonna be super relating to the kindness of me. So if you ask Alphonse, he's gonna say, "Oh, he's a funny guy," and but if you have Alphonsette, you're gonna say, "Oh, he's a nice guy." So yes, I'm both. If you focus on the whole identity, I'm both because both identity, the both of them they have their own opinion, right? Even if they were to say I'm an asshole, that's my identity. I'm an asshole. I think what sucks is if you focus too much, and even as a human being yourself, there's the opinion of people. Like for example, in the opinion of a stranger, there's the opinion of a close friend. You're gonna listen to the close friend because you're more aligned, and alignment is similar to yes man. So a lot of yes men are people gonna be in your life and you say yes, you're good. You're never gonna tell you about the problems, and you don't grow, right? So their perception, and it's always positive. This was something I struggle with a lot. I had a lot of friends who didn't care enough to tell me the truth, so I was in self denial, and I keep on. I'm still in self denial, but for a different reason. And as a kid, I used to say, I used to have friends. Oh, nobody would tell me I stinked, or I wouldn't put Dio, right? And yeah, I didn't put Dio for like a year, and nobody told me. And the people that told that there's some people that told me that were my friends, and like, nah, if I would stink, my friend would tell me, right? But It's not because you're seeing this and you're thinking, okay, well, this is my identity. So where I'm trying to go with this is a name. And in the weirdest way possible, my parents gave me a name. Is that my identity? No. I'm that age. Is that my identity? No. But in the weirdest way, my name is how I present myself. This is the first impression. First impression is how you look, right? But most of the time, the first thing you're gonna the first thing you're gonna say, hey, I'm X, I'm V, I'm W, I'm Z, right? This is the first thing you're gonna say. So the first impression, if you're more, there's a lot of people that are preferring to learn via eyesight or visual or hearing something the way you hear it. If you're hearing something, you can see it from my ear. Did you see that shit? Kind of cool. Not gonna be that guy, but kind of cool. You blocking it? Not blocking it. I see how it gets sidetracked. So yeah, so you present yourself by your name, but it's not necessarily who you are. And I think that my parents, by giving me the name they gave me, they didn't say it's complicated because you're not gonna name your kids. Oh, I want to have a son called Michael because I love the name Michael, Mikey, Mike, Miguel, Miguel. You know, to me this is. But I know that I'm not gonna call Michael and expect him to be a Michael, because technically there's no definition for Michael. There's multiple Michael, but they're all different, and by all being different, you cannot clear point the name. We're talking about also astrology, so people who are Sagittarius, Capricorn, are Aries, Aquarius. If you're talking about people that are Scorpions, Libra, you can't. A lot of people say, oh, those people, those people, those people. You cannot generalize. So what I'm trying to say here is how nice it is to have in Vendetta, because in a very odd way, in a very specific, not understandable or relatable to a lot of people, by being in Vendetta, I'm creating a pseudo online. My real name is not in Vendetta, and if you think about it, in Vendetta is because I have tattoos. My favorite movie was V for Vendetta. That's simple. That is simple, right? So I was like, okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna be my name, but with Ing Vendetta, although it's not a name, I'm not the most vindictive person. Yes, I have tattoo, but tattoo are external. Do I identify more with how I look or the way I think? And it's the way I think, right? I've come to accept the way I look. I come to love the way I look. I had a huge self-confidence issue, but now it's getting better. Um, but the possibility of Ing Vendetta is a possibility for a new identity, one that's more myself. And it's so refreshing to start anew because for the handful of people that know me in real life, and there's a lot of people that know me in real life, right? I'm not a private person. People in my town know me, right? But they have this image of the person I am, and the people that don't know me, the only person they see is in Vendetta, and the good and in the bad. I just think it's fantastic that a name, although means everything, doesn't mean shit. Cause I could be called Neville Longbottom, right? And be an asshole, but here I am, and be that good guy. I think it's funny how most of us, this is a problem I struggle with, and if I'm being honest, I got a better idea of who I am, but when I look at the mirror, I'm not 100% sure who's there. I know myself, but I don't know the reaction. I don't know. Like for example, making video on YouTube. That's my dream. Is it my dream because it's something I can do? Is it my dream because I can create? Is it my dream because I don't have a boss? I don't have a schedule? Is it my dream because I have total liberty? Or is it just my dream because I get to talk and I love talking? Is making video on YouTube a dream or an option? As long as you think that's a dream, you'll be convinced that's a dream. But as long as you think that maybe it's an option, then even if it's more likely a dream than an option, your brain is gonna start to say, "Oh, maybe it's an option. Maybe it's an option." And the problem with that is when the second your brain think it can be an option, then you begin self doubt. So identity in itself, it's weird how as much as it can be clear, in the most simplest way, it's your name, it's an age. In the hardest of way is who you are as a person. And I do think that we have to better understand ourselves. We have to learn who we are, and we have to understand the image we give out. Because You can be to your own, in your own mind, in your own ideal, you're this perfect being, but for everybody else you're not, because it's hard to say like, oh, I hate myself. And there's people that hate themselves, and that's totally fine. That's a set of mind. But I don't think people will hate themselves their whole life. There's some people can have regrets on what they did, but from regrets to how a person is different. It's weird to say, but hey, that's the way I'm thinking. As always, with you boys, I love you guys. Peace.